What is up, YouTube? First and foremost, thank you so very much for liking, commenting, sharing, all of that on my first video. And thank you to everyone who subscribed. I am so very excited that, you all are excited and happy to be involved, I guess. So for this week's video, I am doing, first I saw a couple of my friends did like this hot seat thing on Instagram, where basically your friends ask you like weird or pressing questions. Some of them will not be in this video because some of them were highly inappropriate, but I decided that that's this week's video. I'll be answering the hot seat questions, and then I'm also gonna be making myself a little midnight snack, some brownies. So, let's get to it. All right, so I am gonna answer the very first question while I have my butter melting in the microwave, because I use butter in place of oil, but that's irrelevant knowledge for the video. Our first question: who is Pookie? So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really dating anyone. So most of the time that when I hear Pookie, I think boyfriend, girlfriend. But I'm not dating anyone, so there is no boyfriend, girlfriend. So I just call a couple select people Pookie, just because for me, it's a term of endearment. So one of the Pookies is, there's French Pookie, who is Soraya, one of my closest friends from French, and one of my closest friends, like she's starting to be one of my closest friends in general. I'm so sad to be leaving her when I go to college, but she'll be fine, I'll be fine, we'll be fine. The next Pookie is actually someone I do like. I call him Top Pookie, like number one Pookie, because I like him and that's who I want to be with. I'm not gonna say that name out loud though. And then the next Pookie, I actually can't say out loud, but he probably knows who he is. He's plant-based Pookie because he's on a plant-based diet. Then there is Swim Team Pookie, who was one of my friends from my adaptive team. I don't really have permission to say their name. And I'm slowly realizing the only person that can tell you who is Pookie is Soraya. So we'll say that Pookie is Soraya. I love her to the depths of my soul. All right, so I have put in my butter, my milk in place of water, and I've cracked my egg. So I'm about to mix it. And the next question I'm gonna answer is, I'm gonna let it mix for a second while we all think about this question. Okay, so gay son or thought daughter. Short answer, either one would be less of a disappointment than you are. If you genuinely walk around asking people this question, even if you're asking as a joke, either one would be less of a disappointment than you are. Thank you very much. We're done mixing. And while I look off the mixer, is that dough on my chin? It's fine. While we are, looking off the mixer, the next question I'm gonna answer is hardest class. So this isn't to like boost my ego or anything, but truly and genuinely, a lot of what I do in school academics wise does come easy to me. Like math and science comes easy to me. I'm a writer, so YOA kind of comes easy to me. The only really quote unquote hard class for me is history, and that's just because I don't really care about names and dates. But not like if you take out academics wise, in 8th grade, I took a science class where the teacher wasn't really the best at delivering. Like, she was a good teacher in general, but the subject she was teaching wasn't necessarily for her, so it kind of made it difficult to learn. And then recently, in 11th and 12th grade, I had an ELA teacher who wasn't a difficult person, but she expected the best from each and every one of her students, and she knows what your best is. And if you weren't giving her your best, she would let you know. She would like, hey, you can do better. I know you can do better. Don't do this again. Like if you didn't give her your best. So like, I hope that answers your question. Just academically, there was no really like hardest class for me. It was just more so me and the teacher getting into it, or me actually not like wanting to sit in a classroom, or just like social wise there was like hard classes, but nothing really academically difficult for me. All right, it is time to transfer the dough over so we can go in the oven. But the oven isn't done preheating because I forgot to turn it on. So we'll just go ahead and answer the next question. All right, so the next question is, what is my biggest ick? Sorry. For video length purposes, I'm going to give like a friendship answer and then a relationship answer, because I feel like icks can be extended across multiple relationships in your life. So friendship answer and then like a boyfriend answer. I also start with friendship. So one of my biggest icks, I have like two, is when someone doesn't support me in the same way that I support them. So like an example would be like if I show up to a basketball game or a track meet or anything like that, I would be a good supportive friend, because like I genuinely want to see you in your craft. I want to be there for you, I want to support you, I want to celebrate you when you win, and I want to console you if you lose. So it's like, I love supporting the people that I love, and it genuinely hurts my feelings when someone doesn't show me the same support I show them. Like if I invite someone to a swim meet and they're like, oh no, swimming is boring, don't really go to a swim meet, that kind of hurts my feelings. I actually like, and I'm trying to not be like negative or anything, but like, it's a negative question. What is my biggest ick? And I want to give an example. I was asking people like from my school if they wanted to show up to like senior night or something. And a couple of people were like, oh yeah, totally, when is it? And I was like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. They were like, where is it? I was like, it's at the aquatic center. They were like, it's not basketball. And I was like, no, it's a swim meet, because I am a swimmer and I am a senior. So it is my senior night for the swim team. And that just kind of like instantly shut down the conversation. And these were people that I supported in the past for like, I would say their senior nights or their games or something that was important to them. So the fact that some people can't be as supportive or there for me when something is important to me kind of just hurts my feelings. And that is one of my biggest icks. And then the other is something very small and trivial, but it's just like, if we're trying to make plans as a friend group, contribute to the plans. That's like jokingly one of my biggest icks. It doesn't make sense that we're trying to plan something for a whole friend group and you don't contribute. That just doesn't make sense to me. And then also getting to the event and then complaining, I was like, oh, I didn't really want to do this. You didn't have any part of oh my god, the oven's done. I'm sorry. You don't have any part of planning. So just my biggest icks, just in general, I feel like, because both of these fall under the same umbrella, my biggest ick for friendships is someone not putting as much effort into a friendship as I am. That's the basic answer. All right, let me go put these in the oven, and then I'll tell you my biggest ick, like as a boy, like from a boyfriend. All right, so like I said, the brownies are in the oven cooking for about 20 minutes, so that gives me time to sit here and answer part 2 of the question I just answered, like biggest ick. I gave it for friendships. It was me putting in more effort than you are. Now my biggest ick from a boyfriend. Honestly, my biggest ick is someone who cannot express their emotions properly. And there's like, again, 2 parts to that. I know I like black men. First of all, let me just preface that. I like people who look like me. But I realized that society typically tells men, but black men especially, you can't do this, you can't do that, keep your emotions in check, blah blah blah. But unfortunately, that is my biggest ick. Like, if we're dating and you feel like you can't cry around me or be sad around me, in my opinion, why are you dating me then? That means you don't feel safe with me. That's just it. And then the second part to that is, I don't like nonchalant guys. And I feel like nonchalant is just another way of, you don't know how to express your emotions. Like, if you love someone or you like someone, you should be able to show them or tell them that. Like, no one should have to, I shouldn't have to beg you to show me that you care about me. Like, if you can't express that you care about someone, then why are you with that person? Or why are you trying to be with a person in general? Why are you not, like, taking that time to self-reflect? Like, how do I show someone love? Like, in my opinion, there's no such thing as nonchalant. It's just, you can't show someone that you care about them. But, oh my god, there's oil on my shirt. But, let me preface this by a positive statement. Not preface, let me follow this up with a positive statement. When it comes to showing someone you care about them, like, I'm not gonna give too many details, but I was talking to this guy who we really didn't see each other on a day-to-day basis. And the first day of senior year, I wanted all of my friends to wear their senior shirt. And everyone was like, oh no, that's dumb, that's ugly, that's weird. What this guy did was, he doesn't go to the same school as me, but what he did was he texted one of his friends who goes to my school, was like, hey, where'd you wear your senior shirt? And like, I didn't even ask the person that I was talking to do that. He heard me, he heard how upset I was. He did something to show that he cared about me because he wanted me to be happy. He wanted me to think that someone was listening to me and wear their senior shirt. He was trying to make me happy. He showed me that he cared about me. That to me just proves that nonchalant doesn't exist. If you love someone, you can show them. And if we're friends and you like know who I'm talking about here, do not shine or shame me, okay? That man is my...
We interrupt this program to prevent you all from hearing the delusional statement about to be said.
Alright, the brownies are still cooking, so, oh, never mind. They have a minute left. I'll be back. Alright, now it's still cooking. I put it in there for another 10 minutes. So I'm gonna sit here and answer the next question that I have, and then the last question I'll probably answer like in a few minutes, like after the brownie's cool and I can eat it and everything, because it's gonna be a long winded out question. The next question is this: do I have any exes? Possibly, maybe, perhaps. But no, for real, let me give you prior knowledge. Something that I define as a real relationship is something that is, we have had that label for longer than 6 months. We are able to go out on dates in public without like any chaperones, like alone. Like, we're able to go get some food, we're able to go see a movie, we're able to go do like real actual couple of things. So I've only ever been in like one real relationship. And for like privacy reasons, because I haven't really talked to that person since we broke up, just because the breakup was messy and the relationship was, for me at least, the relationship was not the best. So I try to like forget about that stage of my life. But the short answer is yes, I do have an ex. Can't really say their name. And I'm like, detail wise, we dated early high school, late middle, early high school. We went on a couple dates. I think we dated for about a year and maybe 6, 7 months. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. But that was my first and actually only real relationship. I have like had talking stages past that. I even had like 1 3 to 4 month honeymoon stage. And the reason I don't consider that a relationship is because when things got bad, we like both bolted. But other than like that one real relationship, I don't really have anyone that I consider to be an ex. Just someone I used to talk to, someone who like, not necessarily a failed talking stage, just someone that we both agreed that like, oh, maybe this isn't the best, or someone that like, they decided they didn't like me anymore, I decided I didn't like them. Just, you know, situationships where, you know, life got in the way, I guess. But the real, just basic raw answer is I only really have one ex. What is up, good people? I know I said that I would answer the brownies are done cooking, and then I would eat a brownie while I answer the last question. It's just the thing about that is I'm a liar. I don't know if I said it in the beginning of the video, but I'm making a midnight snack. Like, it is literally like, I think it's like 11:42 right now or something, and I am sleepy. So I'm just gonna film these last couple of clips and get her done. So, yeah. Okay, I had to adjust the camera so I had room to put the question. So the question is, do I have any regrets from my past leading up to the current me? I'm just gonna take that as like, do I have any regrets leading up to my current life? Not necessarily regrets. To me, regrets are things you wish never happened. I don't have any regrets per se, but there are scenarios I wish I handled differently. And those aren't the same thing to me. Like, regrets are saying that I wish this one thing never happened. And I don't feel that way about anything in my life, because I feel like everything that I went through, every experience that I had, every conversation I was in, even something as simple as every person I made eye contact with, I feel like all of that makes me who I am today. And it took a while, but I love who I am. Like, I love myself. I love who I am as a person. I love my body. I love my hair. Like, I just love who I am as a person. And I feel like I wouldn't have that same love for myself if let's be real, if all the bad things hadn't happened, like if I hadn't gotten over all the bad things that happened in life, I feel like I wouldn't have that same love and respect and self-actualization that I have for myself right now. So the basic, raw, genuine answer is no, I don't have any regrets. But I did say, like, I have things that I wish I handled differently. Certain conversations, like when I get hurt, I tend to shut down and shut people out. There's certain conversations that I have that I wish I didn't like shut down, but I wish I heard them out and I explained my feelings instead of shutting down and isolating myself. There are certain choices that I made, like, I don't know, we'll go with a recent one. I had a choice at like a swimming to swim like a 200 or 100. Even something as simple as that, I knew that I had the bandwidth to do the 200, but I wanted to be lazy and do the 100. So it's just, I wish that I handled some situations differently, and maybe I had like, I don't know how to describe it. Just regrets, no, but there are scenarios that I wish I handled differently. Yeah. And then I think this is the end of our video, which is great because I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm very sleepy. It's like now 11:45. But as I said before, on the topic of having no regrets in life, same as the last video, I will keep living my life to the fullest. And you know, other than liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing, you know, do those things. The best thing that each and every one of you can do is love, 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 and live your own life to the fullest. And also, once again, thank you so very much for watching, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.